Tiger, who's located in Colorado. The question here is there a way to deal with religious extremism is the question that I'm seeing here. What specific religious extremism are you thinking about right now?
Right now, I'm talking about Q. I'm talking about the real religious extremists. I don't think there's any dealing with them. I seriously don't think there's any dealing with them, and that's where I get a little upset with the people who want to sit down and have a nice little talk with them, because that's not going to happen.
So you think they're a lost cause? Is that what you're saying, Tiger?
Oh no, yeah, they definitely are a lost cause, and they're gonna inflict a lot of damage. It's one of the reasons I don't consider myself a Democrat, is because honestly, they're police. You know, you've got a real threat here that's incredibly destructive to this country, but you're not going to deal with it talking to them, getting them to side with you. It's not going to work.
So what do you think we ought to do with these QAnon folk who exist?
Oh, what? Just get prepared for them.
What does that mean?
Totally get prepared. I've always worked for liberal causes my entire life, but like I say, I've never considered myself a Democrat because, you know, they don't push the issue when they have every right to push the issue.
Okay. When you say deal with them, get prepared for them, Tiger, when you say get prepared for them, I have certain ideas in my head what that means, but what does that mean to you? What do you mean get prepared for them?
What does it mean to me is get ready for a revolution from these clowns. You know, I think the insurrection was just the start. And look at what these bozos did last week at that in Day Plaza. Are you kidding me? And then they thought that Keith Richards was JFK Jr. in disguise, and they thought that Mick Jagger was Michael Jackson in disguise. And they
Genevieve,
think that Joe Biden is actually...
Yeah, I will say, Tiger, I understand where you're coming from. It can be very frustrating seeing Democrats have all three branches of the House and then the Senate and the presidency. It's frustrating when that happens and things don't happen, but
they don't have the Supreme Court, though.
Well, no, but they could have stopped
Trump.
They
don't have the Supreme Court.
I don't need laws on the book.
I mostly I don't want to get away from this, but I understand your frustration with the Democratic Party, but I would not say that QAnoners are inherently a lost cause. Just because I have seen plenty of people who have come out of cults.
Tiger, I'm going to go ahead and give you a mute. I'm not cutting you off. I'm not hanging up on you, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't talk, but I want to hear what Genevieve has to say, and we'll get back to you as soon as she's done. Okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's the delay. Yeah. It's the delay, Tiger.
I know.
Blame it on the technology. Blame it on the rain.
Sorry, Tiger. Yeah. So essentially, what I was saying is, maybe I'm an optimist. I don't think that anybody is inherently a lost cause. I have seen way too many interviews with people who were members of these horrific cults and survived. And they fall prey to these cults because they're very predatory. They isolate you. They stop you from thinking critically. They rip you from your support systems, and they fill your mind with all of this other nonsense and make you so reliant on them. And yet people come out. People escape them all the time and share their stories. And we have therapists that are trained specifically for helping people deprogramming from cults. I see QAnon the same way.
Yeah. Tiger, to speak to that specific issue, okay? You say that they're hopeless, that there's no coming back. Genevieve disagrees. Can you give us a reason why you think there's no hope in these folks? Because we know that the other people
I'll give you a real big reason. I'm a Native American. My father was born on a reservation. I'm a half-breed. And I tell you what, that's where I'm coming from that cult. And I see the same thing happening now. And they're willing to get violent. You know, it's like we should have, nothing personal, we should have kicked you guys out a long time ago. But I get really upset when I hear these people saying this is a Christian country. No, it's not. You stole it from the natives that were living here. I say you, I don't mean you.
Tiger, I don't think you're going to get too much
that's
of a
where
disagreement
I'm coming from.
Yeah. Tiger, you're not going to get too much disagreement with me. Of course, I don't want to get kicked back over to Eastern Europe personally, because I've never been there. But, I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
Yes, we are all on stolen
land. I'm saying that I saw this. Yeah. I saw this. I've seen the extreme way they treat people that they don't like, and I say they. I mean, but now it's like I've seen it from the other side, and I'm telling you right now, side? This isn't going to get any better. It's going to get worse.
What's the other side? The other side of what? What do you mean by that? Other side?
The other side of normalcy. The other side of prosperous growth.
Okay. Well, Tiger, I want to say this.
And
we cover this. We cover Q stuff over on the nonprofits quite a bit, and I do enjoy.
Yeah, I know.
I enjoy that. I hate.
Well, and it's not like I say. It's not just Q. It's the way religion has hijacked this country.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I believe that religion has hijacked the country. I mean, Andrew Seidel's The Founding Myth is an interesting book. I've read a lot of interesting books about very good fascism. I'm reading one about angry white men. This was written in 2017, so it's a little dated because angry white men have gone bazonkers with their entitlement in the last couple of years. Yeah, I'm not an angry white man personally.
But I think there needs to be a firmer response to this. I think in the long run, but let me put you this way. In the long run, okay, genetically, dark skin is a dominant gene.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not a geneticist. And Tiger, I think we're going to move on from this call. I think we're not in disagreement on the taking seriously the threat of QAnon. I do appreciate you calling. I'm going to say a few words.
Well, when I say QAnon, I'm talking the way the religious right has used it as a tool, like they're using the Proud Boys, like they're using the police force.
Yeah.
They're using the corporate structure now to kowtow to their will.
Well, check out The Anatomy of Fascism. I really enjoyed that book as well. Yeah. I think what can we do? And I'm gonna let you go, Tiger, and give you some reading or some other suggestions. I do appreciate you calling. What can we do? Well, we can become more active in local politics. We can read the news. We can say, you know what? If not me, then who? There are some folks who are kicking up a ruckus down the street. I want to make sure that I become involved. I want to find out what of their claims are legitimate and what claims are entitlement and privilege. And I can try to figure out a way for us to work together in the future. But you're right. I think QAnon is dangerous. Do I think that they are a vast majority or even like a materially substantial number in this country? I don't know that. But I know that I'm ever surprised how many times they can be burned by misinformation and still come back for more. I want to laugh, and I do laugh. But Genevieve, does it frustrate you to see? It feels almost like it's a test from the KGB to see how much they can push the American uninformed populace to see how far they'll take conspiracy theories.
It's frustrating and frightening to watch. I mean, just like you, I want to laugh because it's so ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, JFK and Trump running together in 2024. I mean, it's the absurdity. It's hilarious, and it would be funny if I didn't agree that it is very dangerous. It's very dangerous, and it's sad. I lived in the Bible Belt. I lived in a small town in the Carolinas, and I knew far too many people who took this seriously. I agree. I don't think they're a majority. I think it's funny that they consider themselves the silent majority because they're the very loud minority.
The very loud
minority.
Yeah, exactly.
Once again, they took something and just said the complete opposite. I agree.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. And I do agree that this does go back to religion, Tiger. American evangelical churches are intertwined with the right-wing conservatism and QAnon. I mean, I know so many people who were just standard run-of-the-mill Christian Republicans who now believe very seriously that Democrats are controlled by the devil and Hillary Clinton drinks baby blood. And it goes back to things they heard in church. It's scary, and what we can do about it. I mean, that's a big reason why I do this. I don't think that it's a lost cause. I don't think it's a lost cause.
I don't think so either. I don't think anyone's a lost cause. If there is life left in you, I think you can live and you can turn over a new leaf. Does that mean it's going to happen? I'll tell you, I'll be honest right now. My mother has not gotten the vaccine. She won't even talk about it. And she's gotten in with, I think, a crowd of probably Q-sensitive people. Am I the person who's going to be able to tell her that she's gone off the wrong end? Probably not, because parents and children oftentimes aren't the right people. But so who is? Does that mean it'll happen before she dies? Probably not, but it could still happen. I still don't give up, and neither should you. Also, get ready. Kind of fight fire with fire, kind of a thing. That those words, Tiger. I'm not saying you're a violent person or extremist. I think you're frustrated. I'm frustrated. I keep reading about this stuff. I keep seeing stuff about this in the news. I keep wondering when my goddaughter, and yes, I have a goddaughter, when she goes to college and she reads about history, or when she gets her PhD and who knows what. And she's reading about the early 21st century. Is she going to be like, Tio Johnny, you were an adult during this period. What the hell? What were you thinking? And I'll be like, I'll tell you what I was thinking, kiddo. I thought this was insane. I thought this was really legitimately America had lost its grip on reality. And a lot of us were just kind of sitting by with popcorn, waiting to see how this was going to end, and seriously thinking about maybe, I don't know, being in favor of legislation that would curtail this kind of behavior. But the truth is, this is an exercise of freedom of speech. People can go to Dallas, to the grassy knoll, all they want. They can go to Stones concerts. By the way, the Rolling Stones, on average, I think their median age is older than the U.S. Supreme Court at this point. I thought that was an interesting factoid that I learned a couple of years ago.
Fun fact.
They're still rocking after all these years. But no, it's a weird time we're living in, and this goes back to why Genevieve and I do this. And you hit it on the head. Magical thinking, no offense to Sarah, our previous caller, but magical thinking comes in all varieties. And some of it is, if I may say this, because I consider myself one of them, hippy-dippy, everyone's connected by energy, and can't we all just get along, and let's be kind to each other. That's cool. I'm cool with that, Gonna give me a flower? Sure, okay, fine. But it also, magical thinking can be violent extremists who do nasty stuff. And that's what I'm concerned about. And sometimes the line isn't quite so bright as I wish it to be. Genevieve, final thought on that? You want to move on to our next call?
Yeah. I think, once again, you hit the nail on the head. You should be a carpenter. It's such a I hate to say slippery slope, but it can be such a slippery slope when your beliefs are not grounded in reality to the best of your knowledge. It is so easy to believe in things that are untrue and dangerous. In the hippy dippy circle, which I too lived in the Bay Area for a very long time. I am part of that circle. It's terrifying how on the left we have like this anti-vax adjacent movement that coincides right with that. In general, I say just no bueno. Like let's believe things that are true and leave it at that.
At least if we believe things that are true, that are demonstrably true, we're all playing with the same rule book, right?
Yes,
at least there's
exactly.
that. We might disagree on how we move forward, on what the strategy is, but at least we have the same rules.
Mm-hmm. And that's sort of the trouble that we have with QAnon right now. is that they live in a completely alternate reality. And if you don't agree on reality, it's hard to come to any sort of common ground. There is no common ground.